It's always helped me. Whenever to relieve stress, right? Boxing is good for that. So you go to the gym, you hit the bag, right, stuff like that, and work out, jump rope. Stress, you can't fix things anyway, okay? If you can fix it, you can fix it. But certain things you can't fix, so leave it alone. So I go to the gym, and I exercise, and I feel fine. Problem solved, right? Because at the end of the day, exercise relieves stress. And that's the truth of the matter.
I made it through the rough time. I made it through the tough time. I made it through the bad time. So now I gotta get mine. Gotta weather the storm. Gotta get mine. Gotta weather the storm. I gotta get mine. Gotta weather the storm. Okay. One day we gon' get on. Talk to 'em. You ain't got a choice.
Welcome to Bailey and Buck Unplugged, where we talk about sports, entertainment, and mental health in support of the Kennedy Kids Foundation. If you're struggling with mental health, we encourage you to speak up and get help. A great place to start is 988. That's the free crisis prevention lifeline. Or you can check out the resources tab at kennedykids.org. If you are in an absolute emergency, please dial 911. Either way, we want you to know that you are not alone and that you don't have to struggle, and speak up, get help. There are resources available to you, and we are here to support you. If you're new around here, I want to introduce you to our host. I am Misty Buck. I am an author and a mental health and performance coach. And my co-hosts are Robert Bailey. He is the president of Rosenhaus Sports, the president of Kennedy Kids Foundation. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion, two-time college national champion. He's an NFL record holder, and he's an ESPY winner. And we are also joined by Bailey Brooks Mashburn. She is a celebrity wedding and event planner, a former NFL cheerleader, and the executive director of the Kennedy Kids Foundation.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Bailey and Buck Unplugged. Today's guest is none other than Kevin, the Flushing Flash Kelley. He is a two-time world champion, a Golden Gloves champion, a boxing Hall of Famer, and one of boxing's most exciting southpaws ever to step into the ring. He finished his career with a record of 60 wins, 10 losses, 2 draws, and 39 knockouts. Today, you can find him at the #1 boxing gym in Las Vegas, Fight Club, and he's also the co-host of the Sucker Punch Show. So we are so excited today to welcome a true champion. Please join us in welcoming Kevin, the Flushing Flash, Kelley.
All right. I love that, Misty. You sound like you sound like the announcer in the ring.
I'm channeling my inner Bruce Buffer for that one.
That was great. That was great.
That was good stuff.
That was great, Misty. I love it. Kev, we're so happy to have you on the show. You know, the one thing about boxing is synonymous with football. We're you know, football we're banging heads. You know, we're running into each other. Boxing is sort of similar, right? There's punches to guys' heads, and obviously from years and years of a lot of hits to the head, there's things that happen to guys in football, and there's things that happen to guys in boxing.
A lot of brain trauma.
Right.
Just like football and boxing. Football has the same drama that boxing has.
Yes.
You know, but the thing is, you're hitting with the whole body, all that body weight. And, you know, people don't realize how much that as athletes, we risk.
Yeah.
Okay, we put it on the line. I mean, to put it on the line since you were a kid, and you didn't start this when you was an adult. You started this when you was a kid. So all that damage that's done, like I remember I was an amateur for the first 4 years of my life. Right? So you fighting more competitively and all the time as an amateur. I'll be in a tournament. I got 4 or 5 fights in one tournament. And then I got to go to the next tournament, 4 or 5 fights. So you're fighting more. I mean, I was 75-5 as an amateur. So, I only fought 4 years.
Wow.
And they call me baby. There's a lot of guys that you see on TV. They have 200, 300 amateur fights.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible, Kev. And the fact that, you know, listen, you're a 90s fighter, world champion in the 90s. Just think of all the great fighters in the 90s, right? All Hall of Famers. You yourself, a Hall of Famer. Boxing in the 90s compared to boxing now. I want to hear your take on what's the biggest difference. And do you think boxers now are better or more skilled than boxers were in the 90s? And I want to say this. I think football players now, from a skill level, are more skilled than football players back in the day because of 7-on-7 football that happens year round. So it gives them the opportunity to really sharpen up their skill set. I want to get your take on what, the difference between the 90s boxers and the back in the day guys and now.
That's funny you say that because you said 7-on-7. My son, he's 13, he plays 7-on-7.
That's there we go.
The boxing now, like I said, everything comes on with education. We always taught by the ones that come before us to make it better. Right. Now, is it a lot more money down? Yes. So now boxers are becoming business agents, more or less. Okay, they make a lot more money. They fight a lot less than they did. Me, when I was a boxer, I fought coming up once a month. I had to fight once a month because that's what I did for a living, right? Once a month. Then as I became champion, then I would do it once every 3 months, right? So today, these guys fight so much money, they make so much money that they could take off
a year.
You might not see them a whole year. What happened to the Charlo brothers, right? The Charlo brothers disappeared, right? You got guys that are fighters, but it's like soon they hit the top peak now, where it's different than it was back then. They may have enough money where they can be selective. That's the thing that the money did. It made them very selective. They can fight certain guys they're not going to fight. It's like Shakur. Shakur Stevens is never going to get in the ring with Keyshawn Davis. That's his best friend, right? So a lot of times you have guys that will not get in the ring. With me, they won't get in the ring because I'm a lefty, a southpaw. Now, most of the guys today are southpaws. Everybody is. Boots Ennis is a southpaw. Shakur Stevens is a southpaw. So what happened was, it was only me and Hagler at the time.
Right.
Me and Marvin Hagler. Right.
Hagler that's another big name. Both of you guys had really, really big names. I mean, everyone, if you didn't watch boxing or you did watch boxing, if you said Kevin Kelley, if you said Marvin Hagler, if you all these great boxers, their names were synonymous around the country. And we didn't have social media back then. Imagine how big you guys would be now, even where social media was around back then.
Yeah, that's what's missing. It was more, boxing is sharp a lot more. Like I said, I watched the fights on my phone. I go see this weekend, I seen Fedora versus Thurman, right? So guys today what I see is that it seems like they don't have to fight certain guys. Where years ago, you had to elevate yourself, you had to compete against the best. Period. End of story. Right? When I got on HBO, I became the first live on HBO, and I was 36-0 at the time. Do you imagine that? I didn't get a world title fight for 36 world fights. That was unheard of.
That's unheard of.
At the end of the day, especially being a lefty, these days now, I think boxing, the guys got more power fighters got more power than they had years ago. They didn't have the same, they're more powerful today. They own their own promoters now. You can be your own promoter, right? So they got a lot more power than we had.
Before we really get into the mental health within boxing, I want to get your take on all these social media influencers that are using boxing, right, to gain more followers and because of that, make more money. These guys are making more money doing these one-off boxing events against another social media person or some old boxer, and they're making millions of dollars, and they're not following the same journey that a regular boxer needs to follow.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on the social media people jumping into boxing, taking advantage of that?
Celebrity boxing, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with celebrity boxing. But I'm not okay with the celebrities trying to get in the ring with real fighters. That's what we do. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very dangerous. Right? I think that should be off the... J. Paul and them should not be in the ring. You see what happened to him, right? I tell people all the time. You see what happened to him. He got destroyed, okay? Every judge does not play around.
Before he got destroyed, look how he look how he turned the boxing world upside down. Everyone was talking about him. Even the pros, even the pro announcers, the media, even Bailey Brooks was talking about him. You know,
yo, he should not be allowed.
Everyone was talking about him.
Look at it this way. This is why I look at it.
He made more money than any boxer in the history of the game. Jake Paul made more money boxing than any other boxer in the game.
I don't think he beat Floyd. I don't think he beat Floyd though. But
that may be close. That may be an argument.
Right?
But
because Floyd made $100 million.
On the internet, he showed he had a bigger plane. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. But see, the thing with Jake Paul is this. I'm okay with him boxing other YouTubers and all. I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay when you stick him in the ring with Tyson and no. Look.
Well, even your boy Mayweather got in there. Why?
Yeah, but
why did he do that?
He's not going to win. See, the thing is, it shouldn't be allowed. It should be illegal. It should be illegal. We're professional fighters. That's just what we do for a living, right? So at the end of the day, I know exactly what this guy's. He's not prepared. You're putting an amateur in a ring with a professional. It doesn't work. Just like you take a guy off the street and put him in the NFL. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to do the process. You know what I'm saying?
It worked in boxing because he was in the ring with Mayweather and he was in the ring with Tyson.
Yeah, but Mayweather, see, the thing is this. Tyson was definitely paid off. We knew that. We could see that, right? Being in the ring with Floyd was playing with him. He outweighs Floyd by at least 80 pounds. And Floyd was playing with him, right? So it's like Floyd was doing it for the check, entertaining the public, right? I can't believe people even brought that. I don't believe that boxing, people from the outside, it's very dangerous. Because when the bell rings with us, that's why I love Anthony Joshua. Remember that UFC fighter that got in the ring with Anthony Joshua and he almost broke his leg when he hit him, right? Because the bottom line is this. If you get in the ring with a real fighter and Anthony Joshua's won, he don't care how much money, who's saying what. The conversation is over. That bell ring, you're in trouble. And that's what Jake Paul suffered. I mean, his teeth were turned to, I mean, he beat the heck out of him, right? So the thing is, to make him consider ever doing that again. Don't do that again. I mean, Canelo wanted to fight. Canelo said, listen, I'll fight you, but closed doors, you keep your money, right? You keep your money. Canelo just wanted to retire him. Get him out of there. A lot of real fighters, we don't like what he's doing.
Right. Let me ask you something. Kevin, guys, is his face halfway in the screen? For me, I see only half of his face. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. That's better. Because I really couldn't see your whole face. My last question before I let my co-host jump in. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the pressure of winning in your sport, right? Because I saw a few internet videos of Floyd when he was younger, when he lost in the Olympics and he was crying, and some other boxers, because of most boxers start young, and there's a tremendous amount of pressure. For you, I would like for you to talk about the first time boxing really, put you in a position to where you felt depressed. I don't know, it could have been just the pressure of it. It could have been a loss. It could have tell us about a time in your life that you really had mentally a tough time. And how did you get out of that at that moment?
Well, I got a great story for you because you can watch this on YouTube. It was after my first loss, right? I was tired. Before I had to fight my mandatory, because you get a mandatory for the belt. So I had a mandatory, and I told my manager, I said, I'm tired. I'm physically tired. I need a break. He said, you can't. You have to fight, get ready to fight your mandatory. And I said, And I was very, this guy's name was Alejandro Cabito Gonzalez, right? He was my mandatory. And I went to Texas to fight him. I wasn't in shape, but I didn't have my energy levels up, right? And it was my first loss of my career. And after the fight, they asked me, what's the first thing you want to do? I said, I want to rest. I want to relax. Because when I was world champion, I fought once every 3 months, like I wasn't.
Right.
Okay. So I always fought. So I fought like four or five times in 1 year. And then I need to break, I need to rest. But that allowed me to get away from my promoter. So I left one promoter and went to another promoter. And when I signed with the new promoter, he said the best thing you should do is get back in the ring right away. They're gonna forget about you, you know, that whole thing. And I was like, no, I'm tired. And I let everybody know I was tired. And I said, no. And eventually, of course, by them keep calling me and talking to me, they talked me into it, right? And when I went, I was on the plane with my wife at the time, and we were flying, and I told her, I said, I don't like this. I don't feel right. She says, when the plane lands, we're gonna get another plane and go home. And I said, they're gonna sue me. I was just worried about all the business part, right?
You know, she was down with you. She was right. She was a ride or die with you.
Go. Let's get out of here, right? So what I did was I initiated the fight, and like I was going to do great in it. It was actually, I want people to watch this fight. You watch it on YouTube. Ricardo Rivera versus Kevin Kelley. And they gave me a guy that was 12. This guy was 12-2, right? And people don't understand how pivotal a boxing match could be in your career. And this fight was very pivotal because I was 41-1 at the time. And if I lost to him, my career could have went the other way, easily, right? And the bottom line is, it's not really about your record. This is why I want to get everybody to understand out there. Boxing's never really been about the record, okay? Because Floyd doesn't have it. You know who has it? Ricardo Lopez. He's 51-0, okay? He's a guy from Mexico. They're not giving him his credit. I got him inducted to the Las Vegas Hall of Fame because the simple fact is he deserves his kudos. Right. He's 51-0, right? So if you're going to make records, then we're going to start talking about numbers, right? At the end of the day, you remember great fights. You don't care about the records. Am I correct? Right. You don't care about the records. I mean, a Gray old Pryor. Who cares, right? Right? Sugar Ray Hearns, Sugar Ray Hagler, Jake LaMotta, Sherry Robinson. Who cares? Okay? Because at the end of the day, just great fighter. You don't really care. You want to be entertained. And that's where it fell in. So when you watch this fight that I fought in, I showed as really a god, right? It wasn't one of my best fights. It goes unnoticed because it was on ESPN, I believe. That's what it was. No, USA, matter of fact. ESPN or USA, one of them networks. And at the time, it wasn't an HBO fight. So it was a fight for me coming back. And you know, God is great. And I tell you, I give all the praise to God because in that fight, I ain't going to support it for you, but you can see I'm not the normal Kevin Kelley. I'm not the normal me. If I was normal me, 2 rounds. But that night, forget it. I had to resurrect myself from the dead. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, and that's what people remember. That's what makes great fighters. There's no such thing as great fighters. Only such thing as great fights. Okay? And the great fights create the great fighters. Because at the end of the day, okay, I always tell people, you want great matchups. Right? People don't care about weight classes. They don't know anything about weight classes. They know a lot of stuff. That's why I educate the world when I commentate fights. I let the people know what's really going on. People don't know that they say Steve Floyd getting $100 million, that his take home was only $22 million.
Right.
They don't know that. They're like, I'm like, wait a second. He got to pay his whole team, and then he's got to pay the government.
Right.
Is what he's left with. So you see a $100 million check, he's not getting that.
Right.
He's not getting that. But people see that. And also the belt. Like, I didn't realize so recently that people don't know that the belt, we all get our own belts. So when Crawford fought Canelo, right? When Crawford brought back his belt, they didn't realize that the belts that we get, we all have our own belts.
Right.
Right? Because think about how bad a belt would be if I had to pass it down to somebody else, right?
Why do they pass it up to each other in the ring? Right? In the ring, they show them passing.
That's just for TV. That's just for TV. Everything you're seeing is because make you believe that, right? It's not the belt in the ring is whoever's champion at that moment. That's who, when they walk in the ring with their belt, that belt is given to the person on the sitting ringside that represents that belt, right? The BC company, right?
Right.
Or the IBF or the BO that represents that company. And whoever wins, for TV purposes only for TV, they get that belt to look like the belt was won. You get my point? Yeah. But when that thing is over, when everything's over, said and done, whoever belt that is, they get their belt back.
So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that the sweaty other dude that I just lost to gets to walk around sweating all over my belt, and then they give me my belt back?
Yeah.
I would be pissed. That's the only way. Disrespectful.
The only way you get a belt like right there. Sometimes there's guys that lose. Like I said, they go to meet, have a meeting with you, or they'll go to a dinner or something like that. You might get invited, and they'll give you your own belt, right? All my belts I got, every single belt. I got 5 belts, right? All kinds of belts, right? So those are mine. And we also get world title rings too. Do you know that? We get rings.
Get rings?
Yeah, I got world title rings. I got world title rings. I got Hall of Fame rings. We get rings too.
Yeah, I didn't even know rings were a thing in boxing. I thought it was only belts. They make it sound like
none of the boxers are doing this after the.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I got a boxing bracelet. I got a bracelet that's a world title belt. They make those too. They make. People don't know. They see me in the bracelet, and they're like, "Oh wow, that's really cool." It's a world. You can look it up. It's a world title bracelet. It's made by the BC. The BA used to make a bracelet too. You got Hall of Fame rings. You got world title rings. You got all kinds of things that we got above the belts.
Right. Wow. I didn't know that.
It's just more than just the belt. Yeah, the belt. And like I said, now you got this new. My manager now moved to Vegas, and he's actually down. And here's a funny story. I was married. My second wife is Dana White's cousin, right?
Right.
And this is before Dana was Dana, right?
Right.
And my manager lives in Vegas now. That Zuffa Boxing, he's under that banner now. Right. He's the only boxing guy that's really there. And the Fertitta brothers, who own Station Casinos in Vegas, they're the 2 brothers that have all the money. You know what I'm saying? So they're doing their own Zuffa. So they're trying to make a world title belt. But I'm not really, a lot of people are not feeling the idea of making it like a team sport where you wear uniforms and good luck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, good luck.
Right.
So at the end of the day, everybody's trying to transform what boxing is. But the purest state of boxing is keep it boxing. Don't try to change it and make it soft and all fluffy. It's not going to work. People watch it because we're doing something that the regular person can't do.
Right. Finish that story though about what made you the whole thing that made you depressed, with that put you in a bad state mentally.
Well, mentally, you don't know what's going on in your career. So when I fought that first fight, right, I was in a different mindset, right? I was in a relaxed state. I had to save my own career, my whole career, to save my own career, right? After that, the mindset that I was never in a depression state, right? I've never been in a depression. I was always in a state of, I was always with my family and my kids. That's what kind of guy I am. I'm always with my kids and family primarily. Right. And my wives can see that when I'm married to them, that at the moment that, okay, just leave Kevin alone. You know, I go to the gym. I like training, stuff like that. I'm just taking a break, right? Because I'm very busy. When I'm at boxing, I'm very, very busy. Even like commentating, I'm very busy. So I'm like always just moving, going. So the state of mind of me is very simple. You know, it's just until I feel it's back. I do a lot of God in my life, and until I feel like He gave me a gift. Until that gift is resurrected in my body, then I'm normal again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then I feel normal again, and that's the comeback from it. And I went on to have great fights after that. Right after that fight pretty much it helped me a little bit, and it showed everybody around me that I needed a break. You know, because the new promoter's with you, and then he sees opportunity right there to push you out there. But sometimes they push you out there too quick, and then you can destroy your whole career. I needed that rest.
Right.
What does that feel like when you get to that point where you know where you're like all is right?
Yeah, well, when boxing is very draining. It can sap the life out of you. I'm telling you, it's very. Remember, you're training 5 days a week, 2 days you're off, right? Some guys train. Roy Jones used to train 7 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah, Roy Jones trained 7 days a week.
That's incredible.
No break. And I was what we call a Superman. Right? No break. I'm talking no break. And some guys, like Chavez, just believe in sparring. They don't even hit the bag. You know what I'm saying? So some guys, like I said, and to me, sparring is where most of the deterioration sets in, because the sparring is you're getting hit. So anything getting hit and that facet, remember, you're not sparring, you're not weighing in before, you're not sparring guys your weight class. I sparred Samuel Peter. This guy is 265 pounds. He was a heavyweight champion of the world. I was in the ring with him.
Wow.
I sparred Buddy McGirt for his fights. So we all we're fighters, and we like the challenges. Okay, we like the challenges. And that's what's missing today, I think. Like I said, I like Boots Ennis. There's a lot of guys I like out there. The fight this weekend with Fedora. Fedora's fighting more like he's supposed to be fighting. You got the little guys now, Tank Davis still there. Hopefully he gets out of trouble. And you got great fights out there that could be made. The problem is, hopefully, and everybody's concerned about who's the A side now. So, like I said, these boxers now becoming businessmen because they're the A side. They know what they have going into the fight.
Right.
So, at the end of the day, get rid of some of the business, and somebody should organize that, and let's get back to the sport.
The commission, shouldn't the commission dictate how many fights a fight? Shouldn't they have guidelines? Like football has guidelines. How many hours you can practice in the day? How many days in the week you can put on full pads? All of this is
no.
You guys don't have anything like that limits how many fights you do in a year?
No. Well, they can limit. You can't fight like years ago. Ray Robinson, the greatest fighter to live, he fought 3 fights, 2 world title fights, and 1 non-title in 21 days.
Wow.
In 21 days, he fought, there was 15 rounds. He fought 15, not the last guy out. So it was 15, 15, 30. He fought 40 rounds in 21 days.
That won't happen today.
No, that's old school. We can't do it no more. Once you fight one fight, like I used to fight, if I knocked the guy out in the second round or first round, I'll be back in the ring 2 weeks later, right? When I was coming up. Now, if you're fighting a long distance fight, 10 round, 12 round fight, if you know what I'm saying, they're on 12 rounds now. Now they tend to, they can suspend you for a certain amount of time. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
But if they put no suspension in, so certain states collaborate together. They have different commissions. We got some more rules and regulations than we used to have. So boxing is much safer than it's ever been. You know what I'm saying? But I always tell people, just like football, boxing is not designed to be safe.
Right.
Neither is football. Football is not designed to be safe. You know what I'm saying?
Can you tell us what is required to be mentally prepared for something like that, to do that many fights in that short span of time? Like, what's the mental work look like?
Just a sport in itself.
Well, consistency. Like I said, when you're young, you're very ambitious. And when I'm in training, and like I said, if I knock somebody out in the first round, second round, I want to be back in the ring right away. Because if I've been training for a whole 2 months or something,
it's not enough work.
So I want to get back in the ring right away. Then you got these fighters today, to me, somehow. They knock somebody out in the 5th round. You don't see them for another 6 months.
Right.
Okay? So I'm like, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is I would book 4 or 5 fights in a row. You know what I'm saying? Back then.
Right.
Coming up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact,
regardless if you went first or second round or the whole fight, you booked 4 or 5 fights.
You want to see something crazier? Here's something crazier? On my record, if you look, I fought twice in the same week.
How?
I was in Holland. I was over in Holland. My manager had booked 2 fights for me over there. A fight on Monday and then a fight on Friday, right? So the first fight, check this out. The first fight, I went 8 rounds with the guy. It was my first 8-rounder, right? And then on Friday, I knocked the guy out in the second round. So I did that one time. I did do that one time. So, and that was amazing. I guess we got away with it because it was overseas.
Would you consider that bad management?
No. Listen, if that's what you do, that's what you do. It's not bad management. Now, I went 8 rounds, I knocked the guy in 2 rounds. It worked for me, right? Now, we can have a different conversation if it didn't work for me, right? It might be different. Right. But at the end of the day, it showed what was coming. You know what I'm saying? That if I can't do that, you got to challenge yourself. That's what all sports are. Football, basketball. If you're not challenging yourself, then who are you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So me doing something like that showed me I could do it.
Right.
Like my man Kaipo, he just got dropped for his first time, right? He got up and finished the fight. That was fine, right? So we got to come back. Sports is about athletes coming back. That's why people like the story of the guy that's on the bottom that makes it to the top. That's why people like that story, because that's what you're doing, right? You're down, you're the guy, nobody thinks you're going to win, nobody thinks you're going to do anything, and then you show the world, right? The world, holy cow, I can't believe he won. Right? That's what, it's like when Ali fought George Foreman. His own wife said, he's going to kill you. That man's going to kill you. That's how fear. That's how much fear George Foreman put out there, right?
Right.
And he was amazing puncher. And Ali rope-a-doped him and got him knocked out, right?
Yeah.
So you see somebody like that gives everybody else hope. You get my point?
Yeah.
It gives everybody else hope. So then you realize your life ain't that bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what boxing does for a lot of people, is show them hope. Like you see Tyson, that's why he's so big. He's the guy that was on the bottom. They got him from jail. Right? Think about it. They got him from jail, right? And Mike is my friend. And look where he's at, right?
Right.
So the thing is, that's what people, that's why they like the Rocky story, the Rocky movie. People love the underdog. They always love the underdog. Because humans, we all feel we're the underdogs.
Right.
Nobody believes. We have to, like me, honest, I get it. I had to make people believe, right? I remember when I was coming up, like New York City, but my friends were very supportive, man. You know what I'm saying? I give them credit. Nobody ever said to me, oh, you ain't gonna make it. I never heard that. Nobody around me, I guess I kept a good circle, that said to me, I'm not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had a very supportive neighborhood. I'm from New York. I came out when the crack epidemic started. That's when I started boxing, when crack came out in New York City, right?
Wow.
And my friends, my friends that I grew up with, affiliated with some of that stuff, the negative stuff on the streets. And boxing was definitely something. I was just a hobby for me. It wasn't something I saw myself doing in the future. It was a hobby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And back then, when you fought, all the boxers, man, they started out. You guys knew each other from Golden Gloves, and from the amateurs coming out as kids. Have you seen a big difference in like the mental health of a boxer that may not have boxed a long time compared to someone that boxed since he was a little kid all the way, for a long time? Has boxing really affected the mental health of boxers that boxed a long time? Do you see that?
Yeah, you see it from time to time. Like Tommy Hearns right now is in a different state. Okay.
What kind of state? Yeah. What's going on with Tommy?
He's having trouble walking, stuff like that.
And you think that's because of boxing? You think that's because of the hits to the head?
No, most definitely. Tommy is a warrior, and like I said, and it doesn't erase how great a fighter he is, and it's just a matter of age. And when age settles in, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the boxing punch that you have to the head, sometimes it happens. It does happen.
Right.
God has blessed me. And I sometimes, I question myself about it, because I don't know if it's age or boxing, right? Sometimes, because sometimes, like going to the store sometimes. I go to the store and I forgot why I'm in the store, right?
Right.
That could be age also. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we get older, okay?
Right.
And at the end of the day, you don't know if that, it's just society trying to make you panic a little bit.
I don't think you old enough to where you go to the store and you forgot what you went to the store for.
And I know it happens. It happens, like, especially like.
That's happening to me.
Happens to you, Bailey?
I leave my office and walk into the kitchen and then stand in the kitchen for 2 minutes, and I'm like, why did I come to the kitchen? And then I don't want to leave the kitchen yet because I know it's going to pop in if I go back to my office. So I just try to stand there and wait. And sometimes it doesn't show back up, man.
Yeah.
And I play no football.
Yes.
No, I understand that, but getting in your car and driving to the store, the supermarket, and getting out of your car and saying, "Why did I?" That's never happened to me. Well, going to the kid, going from one room to another room, yes.
Robert, yes, it has happened to you. Just say yes, it has. Just say yes, it has. Yes, it has, Robert. Yes, it has.
See, Bailey knows me, Kev. She knows me. She's been around a long time. She knows me.
Look, I'm sure that you've called somebody, and when they answered the phone, forgot that you called who you called and hung up on them.
Nah, that's never happened. That's never happened.
Who I called?
Yeah.
With me, I'm taking care of kids also, so that's also part of it. I'm distracted. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times.
Right.
My son plays football. It's kind of funny. I use Ocho's ladder for my son, right? My son, he's 13.
You still got Ocho Cinco's ladder?
Yeah, because Ocho gave me the ladder. So I got the ladder. So he's 13 years old, and he plays football. He's a quarterback. He's actually a quarterback.
Wow.
He got 2 state rings. He got 2 trophies. Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing very good.
I got a question for you. If your son wanted to box, is that something? Which one would you let him do? Would you prefer him to play football, or would you prefer him to box?
Listen, But both of them are dangerous, right? I don't prefer him to do anything. Just what he wants to do. See, one thing my mother and father taught me was a blessing for me. My mother I didn't know my mother and father didn't want me to box until I won the world title. Until a guy interviewed him. And the guy said to my mother and father, what do you think of your son? He's world champion. And my father looked at the camera and he said, well, it was Kevin who was doing it. I really didn't want him to do it. And I said, I looked at my parents. I learned a very valuable lesson right there. As parents, we put our fears on our children. We shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
Because we're stopping whatever God has given them. You don't know what God has given them. We don't know.
Right.
There would never been a Michael Jordan, a Kobe. It would never be anybody. Tyson, Ali. You know what I'm saying? You're on this world for a certain amount of time, right? You don't know what God is sending you, right? So you have to go after it. And don't prohibit it just because you're scared of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If your son boxed, would you train him different from the way you were trained?
He boxed. My son did. My son does box a little bit. He was in the gym.
But I'm saying, are you more cautious in the way you train him, based on all the head punches, all the knowledge that you have? Do you train him differently than the way you were trained, or the guys that were trained back in the 90s?
None of my kids boxed. I got one of 8. None of them box. My daughter wants to box. She's 30-something years old. She boxes, right? A little bit. She's in training right now.
Right.
But my son, like I said, I keep my eye. If he's in the gym, I don't train him. I don't even talk to him. I let the other coach train him, because father's sons in the gym is it's not work. It doesn't work all the time. And he plays football, right? Now, football is actually more dangerous than boxing. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Football is the number 1 dangerous sport in the world. Number 1. But guess what boxing is? Boxing number 13.
I think that's wrong.
Now, yeah, you would, but boxing, if you look it up, boxing is number 13, football is number 1.
That's ridiculous.
Because the thing about football is you're always going to the trauma to the head. Everything, you know what I'm saying, with helmets. Trauma. But boxing, if you get knocked out, the fight's over.
Right.
But how many football players play with a concussion?
Yeah. You know what? You make a lot of sense. We get knocked out in the first few minutes of the game or the first quarter, and then we still go play 3 more quarters.
Yeah, see, with the fight, once that happens to us, it's over.
It's over. Yeah. They stop the fight.
Over. You get a concussion, it's over. Matter of fact, they try to stop the fight, but you're still on your feet. You see what I'm saying? Right. So, like I said, these days, we have a lot more safety. An example, I use a doctor.
You get a running start in boxing.
Huh?
There's no running start in boxing.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I work with a doctor. I work with a doctor named Dr. John Thompson, right? He's a homeopathic doctor. He's like Dr. Sebi was. This guy's amazing. And he studied brain health and all this stuff. And I was doing hyperbaric therapy with him, right? Hydrochloroquine to my blood. I do a lot of good things with him. He's a very helpful doctor. And let me tell you something. That's in the latter part of my career. That's what I used. We got so much more information than we had years ago.
Right.
Okay. And you got to use it. All athletes should use the information you got, because it's less of a chance that you'll have some certain symptoms. Just like Joe McClendon. You heard of G-Man, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's really messed up really bad, right? His sister's taking care of him and everything. He got hurt by Nigel Benn. And like I said, I was amateur with him. I know him very well. I was amateur with him. Him and Roy Jones used to spar. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was great. Michael Carbajal come from the same era. So it was great. So our brain health, hyperbaric therapy you got to do, crossword puzzles, certain things that keep your brain going. You got to keep training the brain and training the body.
Got to keep training the brain. Misty does a lot of work with athletes in that space. She helps athletes understand the mental approach to their particular sport. And I'm interested in her thoughts on boxing and the hits, and because boxing is one of those sports where you gotta go into the ring with a lot of confidence. You go in there and you're not confident, you get injured.
Yeah. The thing is boxing is a chess match. I'm gonna explain what boxing really is. It's a chess match, right? I gotta be 2 moves ahead of you when you do something, right? So I know what you're gonna do, how fast it's gonna be, which way you're going, and this is all throughout the fight, okay? People don't know how educated boxing you have to be. You have to know exactly how to fight a tall guy, how to fight a short guy, how to fight a righty, how to fight a lefty. Okay, different styles. You got to adapt and adjust to different styles. And you got to know how to counter. For example, there was Keith Thurman versus Fedora this weekend, right?
Right.
And Fedora is a tall guy. He's the tallest boxer in the world. He's 6'5", right? Mm-hmm. Thurman, to me, I didn't see anything that he did that showed me that he was ready for that opponent. You got to know. Now, this guy, Brian Mendoza, who fought in the card, knocked him out, knocked Fedora out. So he, you got to watch. If a guy loses, how did he lose? I didn't see any education. This is the difference between today and yesterday. Studying fighters. You got to have a great teacher, not a trainer, teacher that studies fighters, knows what the guy's going to do so that you know what he's going to do, when he does it, how he does it, how hard he does it, how fast he does it, so you have a counter for it.
Right.
And that's what boxing is can I neutralize my opponent? I need to neutralize him. It's like a football. It's the same mindset. I have the same mindset. If I had a guy who's guarding me, I'm having the same mindset. I watched footage of him before, so I know where he goes, what's his strengths, what's his weaknesses. You want to know everything about him before the bell rings.
Right.
I want to know how many kids he got.
Right.
People say, huh? How does that matter? Because does he live with his kids? Or he goes to training camp. You know what I'm saying? So there's all kinds of things that make a big difference in a fight, in a boxing match, because we are the whole team by itself.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the bottom line, the mindset of a fighter is an amazing weapon. I mean, same weapon that Bruce Lee used, Ali used, Tyson uses. We all use the same thing, the same mentality. It's how smart you are. People they think boxing is about throwing punches. No, it's not. It's how smart you are. That's why Ray Robinson was pound for pound the greatest fighter to live. Now, there's two differences. One's the GOAT, is Ali, but Ray Robinson is pound for pound. So guess what? Ray Robinson used to walk in the ring with Muhammad Ali. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Ali looked up to Ray Robinson. Ray Robinson is the epitome of all of it. So when you say boxing, he's the pitcher.
I got
He's the pitcher. He's pound. Check this out. At one point in his career, he had 129 wins with 1 loss.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? Now, check this out. He lost his 41st pro fight, right? And then went 80-0 after that.
That's incredible. You know, Bailey's husband's father actually boxed with Muhammad Ali. Bailey got to tell him the story.
Yeah, Bobby Mashburn. He was a journeyman boxer back in the day. So Jamal's got like pictures of him like little, and my husband's 6'8" now. So when I say little, it's like always funny because Muhammad Ali used to carry him around the ring on his shoulders, but his dad used to spar with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, you want to hear something crazy? My boxing manager was Ali's agent.
Oh wow.
Harlan Warner. You know Harlan Warner.
Harlan Warner.
Harlan Warner got Keyshawn Johnson. Remember Keyshawn Johnson wrote that book? That was on my managers. That's my Tom Lawford. People don't know that. Mouthpiece, that company called Mouthpiece in California. Yeah. That's my manager.
I didn't know that.
He signed Ali at 16 years old to a contract.
Wow. That was
Ali lived in Arizona. I missed Ali by a week. Ali used to come to my house, sit on my couch, watch fight. He watched Tyson fight when Tyson got out of jail at my house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I knew Tyson. I know his daughter Lily. I know May. His son. He got son Oz. He's adopted. Sadi. His name is Sadi. He's the same age as my son. Yeah, Ali. I used to hang with Ali all the time. Like I said, because I didn't grow up in this era. It was more my father. I grew up in the Sugar Ray era. You know what I'm saying? So that was more for my father. So when Ali came to the house in New York, it was like he's sitting on the couch. Hang with him. My father's pretty much the same age. They talking. You know what I'm saying? So, and Ali. So I've seen Ali, fight for him, and I know what he did and how great he was. He made it commercial. That's what Ali did. He made boxing commercial, where pimps go to fights and drug dealers and athletes will come to see him fight. He made it commercial.
Wow.
Right? Ray Robinson made it pound for pound. What the pound for pound means is very simple. Whichever weight class he's in, he beats the champion.
Right. He just
no matter what your weight class is,
he was gonna beat you.
Amazing. And like I said, I teach the kids today. That's one thing I do about me. I teach the kids today. Like, because when I walk in the gym, they go to know who I am already. Like I knew Buddy McGirt, I knew Juan Laporte. When these guys were, I didn't know because my father loved boxing, right? It ain't like he ever thought about me doing it. It's amazing to me that when I used to be around certain guys at the Hall of Fames, and I would be hanging with Pryor and Aguayo, and I seen them as a kid. I was a kid. I was 1977. I seen them. I was 10 years old. I would call my father and put them on the phone. My father would talk to Sugar Ray. He talked to Tommy. He talked to Iran Barkley. He talked to Aaron Pryor. You know what I'm saying? Because who would ever think that you would be right next to this guy and they're looking at you the same way?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? My favorite fighter, I want you to watch this guy, Matthew Saad Muhammad. He's Holyfield before Holyfield. Trust me, this guy, you'll love this guy. He's from Philly. He's a kid that was his father left him in the street. Father and mother left him in the street and by himself, right? And he became an orphan, right? And a family adopted him. And he started boxing and he was good at it, right? His first name was, what's his name? They call his first name, I forgot his first name. They changed it later on, but Eddie Mustafa, he's a great, great boxer. I mean, great. You talk about guy take abuse. Oh my goodness, he take abuse and knock you out still.
Wow. Well,
you would abuse him.
It's interesting to hear about the chess part of boxing. Now, Misty, I'm interested to hear your thoughts from a mental standpoint because that's what you deal with. I didn't know. Have you ever worked with a boxer before, Misty?
MMA fighters and jiu-jitsu.
What's the difference? Is there a difference between fighters and the other sports?
Yes and no. I mean, it comes down to the individual and how there's a lot of commonalities in terms of, preparing and working to prepare and then getting out there and maybe something, like changes, right? I've worked with athletes, MMA fighters, who have to take a different approach. And sometimes it takes them a little while to warm up. The difference is in a team sport and versus a one-on-one sport is that you are your team, right? Like it's you against you, basically.
Yeah.
So the mentality in that regard's a little bit different because the entire win-loss depends on you. One mistake and you could get a knockout, you could have to tap out, you could, whatever. So it's a little bit different in that regard in terms of how they mentally prepare. So I think there's some differences there. Confidence is something that is a familiar theme, right? That you're both working on. In both, but I mean like different types of sports.
Right.
But so like that comes up, but it just shows up in different ways, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm in the home of MMA because UFC is located here. And I was married to his cousin. I've been to the UFC compound multiple times. And my manager is in there right now. And I trained GSP. You heard of GSP before?
Yeah. Yeah.
I trained GSP. I trained Steve Cantwell, Frank Tigg.
Thank you. Yeah. Those are all good fighters.
My boxing style has a lot of martial arts in it. So I work with those guys from time to time. And I don't mind. Like I said, it's a thing to benefit, right? And I've worked, I know a guy named One Kick Nick. He trained a lot of the guys. That's how I actually wound up training a lot of these guys. And in Vegas, you're in the home of the MMA. So everything's located here.
That's incredible. You're living the state of boxing and MMA.
Yeah, all the boxers live here. You got Samuel Peter live here. You got Wayne McCullough, Bones Mayweather, Tyson. Everybody lives in Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys have moved out. James Toney left. Tommy Hearns left.
You got a lot of boxers in Philly too.
Not really. Not like Vegas.
Rocky.
Rocky.
Yeah, Vegas got stacks of fighters. I mean, sometimes I run across guys. Fernando Vargas lives in Vegas.
Why do you think so many guys live there?
I guess because I never knew I was going to live here. That's crazy.
Yeah. How did it all happen?
Well, I'm from New York.
Why Vegas?
Well, Vegas at one point was very economical. That's what it was. And when you boxed here, you trained here all the time. It was nice to train here. The weather was good, stuff like that. And houses were like dirt cheap, right? And they're not now. They're no longer dirt cheap now, right? Average house, I said right now, you're looking about the lowest you can probably get $375.
Right.
And regular houses that were $100 grand, $110 grand, right now are $500,000.
Right. Wow.
And is the taxes for the Vegas like the same as like Florida? There's like no state tax or something like that. The tax.
Yeah, people. The tax are very low here. That's why people live here. Also, the weather is no hurricanes, no snow. We got
and then
snow.
All the major fights are there.
No, we got snow, but it's in the mountains. So if you want snow, like right now in the mountains, it's snow. Down here and where I'm at, it's like 75 degrees today. And where the snow is cold. You know what I'm saying? It's like below zero. So they have snow in Vegas. It's just a matter, it's on the mountains. It's just that, they got ski resorts. It happens this time of year, right? And then the snow melts, of course, in the summertime. The hottest it gets up there in the mountains is 80 degrees. That's the hottest it gets.
Wow.
Crazy. Do you ever look back on just like where you've come from? Like earlier you mentioned coming out of out of New York and the crack era. Like my husband came out of Wrangell Projects in Harlem and then now like lives on the water in Miami and looks back on his life and reflects at like all of the stuff that he had to go through. What was like the big, like, do you look back on your life and reflect and see like now you live in Vegas and where you came out of and like what your level of appreciation is for that?
Well, I love the idea I came from New York because, like I said, if you come from there, you can live anywhere. It's so true. Because New York City has a stigma about it, and it's not just a stigma, okay? When you come from New York City, you can live anywhere. It's so true. And
I agree. I believe that.
It's not New York City is an evolving city. That's what New York is. It's not the same. If I went back right now to move back to New York, I wouldn't recognize it. My mom's still there. It's not the same city. Put it like this. Neighborhoods in New York City change. Just how neighborhoods change. The neighborhood I grew up in, Flushing, Queens, was black, white, and Spanish, right? And now it's all Korean. So that neighborhood I grew up in doesn't exist no more.
Wow.
It's gone, right? It's gone. Everybody moved out. I got friends that live in North Carolina. I got friends that live in Philadelphia. They had left New York City and they have gone to different areas. And that's how New York is. It's an evolving city. You got to adapt and adjust. It's changed. It's so dramatically changed. When I was there 2 years ago, I commentated a boxing match in Newburgh, right? Newburgh's upstate New York. They flew me in, and when I landed, the roads were still the same and stuff like that, but the people are very different. Very, very different right now. So there's a culture shock. And like I said, one thing about New York City, you'll see people all day and not talk to one of them.
And aren't you so proud of yourself to come from New York all the way to Vegas at this level?
Oh, Vegas is like, I tell people, they have no idea the level that I was on. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea. But like in New York, people move so slow here. Like I'm always, when I'm driving a car, I'm like yelling at people because they're not moving out the way. And you don't stop at a yellow light. Why do you stop at a yellow light? I don't understand that, right? So there's certain things like you're in my way. Why are you in my? So I'm still in that New York mentality. So with me, I'm like trying to get there as fast as I can get there, do it as fast as I can so I can be gone.
Right.
So
that's why when I get off the plane in New York, immediately I feel stressed. As soon as I get off the plane in New York, I'm stressed. And as soon as I get on the plane to leave, man, I feel so comfortable. I feel like my mind is clear.
I disagree with that. With the minute I get to New York, I am like, I'm about to live the highlights, the entertainment, the shopping, the food, the pizza, the street food. I mean, New York is the bomb.com. Coming from Canada, New York was like one of the highlights of my life.
Of course, because you come from a place that's not thriving in energy and food on the road and people. Yeah, but for me, coming from, jumping into that environment, man, it's like fire ants. Everybody climbing on everybody else's back. I'm like, oh man, I gotta get out of here. It's the only city of its kind to me in the entire world.
Yeah, when I'm in New York, when I'm back in New York City, right, I find myself rushing around, right, and then I don't know why I'm rushing.
Right.
I have no idea why I'm rushing, and I'm like, why am I rushing? And it's the craziest thing. And I do this automatically.
It's not rushing. It's just that they're the Ferrari of the U.S. Yeah, like you depends on
you're gonna get that.
Everyone's related to a different car. It's not rushing. It's just you're not used to their speed, so you're just basically trying to keep up.
Yeah.
No. I jump into that kind of mode right away without me knowing. So I'm rushing, and I don't know why I'm rushing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on vacation there. I'm not there living. So why am I rushing? So I get into this atmosphere that's crazy, and I love it. Like I said, but the thing is, you know, it happens in New York. That's when they're talking about the Diddy when he had the show Making the Band, and they said to him, "Oh, I did that yesterday." That's how they want it. If you work in New York City, when the boss asks you, "Hey, did you do that thing?" "Oh, I did that yesterday." You know what I'm saying? That's how fast you got to be in New York. That's what they expect of it. And a lot of people come from New York City. The Wayans brothers, you know, Fran Drescher.
I didn't know Wayans brothers came from New York City. I didn't know that.
You know that? Nah. Most of the people you watch on TV came from New York, including your president. Ain't that crazy? Your president's from Forest. He's from Forest Hills. I'm from Flushing. We're like 10 minutes away, right? I mean, a lot of people, man. John Leguizamo, stacks and stacks of. Tupac was from New York City.
Incredible. You know, we're at the bottom half of end of our show, and Misty usually asks the last question. I'm gonna hand it off to Misty.
Yeah. So, Kevin, one thing that we like to ask everybody is when you feel yourself with a mental health issue popping up, like maybe stress, maybe it's anxiety, it could be depression, but maybe it's just, you know, a stressful moment in your life, things are kind of feeling off. What are the things that you do to bring yourself back into balance? Obviously, you mentioned hitting the gym and how much that means to you. We can tell you're super, super passionate about boxing, and I'm sure I got to check out Sucker Punch show. But like, what are the other things that you're doing to help yourself?
Sucker Punch on Instagram. So the biggest thing I find that helps me is exercise. It's always helped me. Whenever to relieve stress, right? Boxing is good for that. So you go to the gym, you hit the bag, or stuff like that, and work out, jump rope. Stress, you can't fix things anyway, okay? If you can fix it, you can fix it. But certain things you can't fix, so leave it alone. So I'll go to the gym, and I exercise, and I feel fine. Problem solved, right? Because at the end of the day, exercise relieves stress. And that's the truth of the matter. So the thing is, why are you stressing about things you can't change anyway?
Right. You know what you can change? How hard you hit that bag when you're stressed. That's what I do. Yeah. I like to hit that bag and get to boxing
I'm going to help you out.
And leave with nothing left.
Don't hit it harder. Hit it faster.
Hit it. Oh, yeah, we do the speed drill and the whole thing.
Yeah, speed drill.
Yes, I do like hitting it hard. I don't know. That's just me, but...
Yeah, because the bag ain't gonna fill it anyway. So if you go, I'd rather throw 300 punches than throw 4 or 5 hard ones. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the cardiovascular part is what you need. So you need to throw 300 punches fast, right? Fast. Drill. You'll get more out of that than you would for hard punches.
Bailey does boxing in her workouts. She works out at a gym down here, and I know she does some boxing stuff, right, Bailey?
Yeah, I got a gym in my house that has a huge hanging bag because my husband's training me in boxing because it's part of his regular workout. So if he didn't play basketball, he probably would have played baseball because that's how he started. But he boxes every 3 days a week. We have a trainer here, so I got good. I hit the bags when my nails are adequate length, and then
But you listen. It's very good. The bag work. You know what's a better bag for you to hit though? The double end.
Is what?
The double end bag. The bag, blue round bag.
Yeah.
Mine looks like a giant teardrop, and it's filled with a big metal chain.
Oh, you got a water heavy bag.
The water bag, yeah.
It's huge.
But a better thing for accuracy is hit a double end bag. It's called a double end bag. It's got a band on the top.
I'm not trying to get in the ring anytime soon. I'm good.
No. You don't have to get in the ring. But it's another way of hitting something. Jump rope is good. Jump rope is also another thing. Because hand-leg coordination goes high. Because when you throw the punch at the bag, your feet are moving. So you have to have your feet move with your hands.
Right.
So jump rope.
Wild.
Plenty of rope.
I love it. So, Kevin, let me ask you, if someone's out in Vegas and they want to come train with you at Fight Club, I know you said you work with a lot of youth, but maybe one of us, we can get out there one day and train with you. So how can people find you and connect with you?
I'm at Fight Club. Just put Fight Club in the phone. It's right there. Cabo Galegas trains there. And Cabo Galegas is 11-0 right now, number 10 in the world, 9 knockouts.
Are you his trainer?
I work with him. From time to time, his father trains him, but I work with him from time to time. And I show him.
What's your IG, Kev?
My IG? Oh, Instagram. The Sucker Punch or my personal one. The Flushing Flash 67.
Say that one more time.
The Flushing Flash 67.
Flushing Flash 67.
The Flushing Flash 67. And the Sucker Punch show is the show that we do. We got everybody on there.
That's awesome. It was awesome having you, Kev.
Thank you for having me. Anytime.
Go ahead, Misty.
Yeah, definitely. So as always, we want to thank everybody for listening. Like, subscribe, view, share. All of those things help us share our message in support of the Kennedy Kids Foundation. And as always, we like to remind you, if you are in a crisis, dial the 988 Crisis Prevention Suicide Line. That is a free confidential call or text line available to you. Of course, if you are in an absolute emergency, please dial 911. Always choose life. We talk about that a lot in our organization. And of course, head over to kennedykids.org. Click on that resources tab, see what else we have available for you, other resources that you might need. And also, we're always looking for help to support the cause, so you can check out our other ways to get involved there, kennedykids.org. Kevin, thank you for being on the show. We love this. Thank you.
Kevin, you were great, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We learned a lot, bro.